Howdy, 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 pile one. You chose the fox card. Um, the fox brings us cleverness and adaptability, intuition. The fox encourages you to trust your instincts, embrace stealthy change, and find resourceful solutions to problems, having increased awareness. So I feel like the fox is asking you to maybe solve your problems um, more creatively and faster, I'm hearing, but not faster in a way of just like for time, not time fast, but like you can solve the solution in your head in the most creative way, stealthily, quickly, and then have the patience to see it through the seasons, I'm hearing. And this is all going to be about adaptability and intuition, trusting the path that trusting. Sorry, I'm hearing a few different things right now, and I gotta wait till it settles. Trusting the path you laid before you at the height of the dream. Okay, wow. Trusting the path that laid before you at the height of the dream. And your stone is the pink opal. And I just picked these up. Sorry if you can't really see it. My phone is deciding not to uh, really get it that well. My apologies. Um, but the pink opal encourages love and promotes healing of emotional wounds, identifies hidden fears, enabling us to resolve them and let go. So the fox has cleverness and adaptability. And cleverness and adaptability are two things. Cleverness, adaptability, and intuition are two things, or three things, sorry, that will help you overcome your fears. Um, because many of our fears, hidden fears, are they're ancient fears. They're fears from being in a human avatar, the density of a human avatar. They're fears, which is like bodily autonomy, bodily safety, um, having food, shelter, those type of things are fears that are tied into being within this existence. And the beauty of that is that we get to utilize our own intuition, our own cleverness, our own adaptabilities to find a way to sustain ourselves, and then therefore encouraging self-love and promoting the healing of our emotional wounds, which we have the pink opal here. And you also might resonate with the second reading, which is going to be done on the lantern, based on the lanternfly as our spirit animal, which will hold the pink opal as well. Okay, so these two, I'm going to be using the Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle and Messages from Your Spirit Guides Oracles. And then we're also going to use a adaptation of the original Rider deck with expansion on it. So I feel like we're going to start with messages from your animal spirit guides. And our first one was the fox. What other animals want to come through to support the message that the fox brought? dog wants to say something about the male person. Both dogs, my dog and the dog next door. Let's see. So we have the goose. Ooh. So this brings us to what deck 3 is going to be about as well. There was a flock of geese. So, this whole shebang might be yours, Pow One. But the goose is take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. So, get creative, get your problems solved, or get yourself on track to solve your problems, and know that they won't be solved the very next morning just because you came up with a plan. You have to trust your instincts and have be okay with waiting, because waiting is living. We don't get tomorrow just because we thought about it today. You gotta wait, live out the 24 hours, and in that time, once you come up with a plan, you got to sort of let it go and let it unfold, and have different plans for different things in your life and let them unfold as they will. You also have, I didn't even see the gorilla. Okay. Take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. And then we have the spider. Trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. Okay? So take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. I'm feeling like this might not be current family members, like living current family members. Or it might not be the things that you will currently hear in the connections. Think back and remember, I'm hearing family, like those people that are no longer a part of your life but were once a part of your web and poured into you deeply. Also, take time to listen to those around you. When you are in a place of settled joy, you can't rush others to find it as well. They also have to come into their fox era and be stealthy and be clever and be adaptable and utilize their own intuition. You can't give it to them. So listen with compassion. Like if you have someone who is going through a lot or whatever, you still hold space for them while not while not spinning your wheels. I'm hearing, because if you're getting this message and you're resonating with the fox energy, you're someone who's quick on your feet. You you may think about the past, but you're definitely thinking about the future, and you're looking at the now and how to get there. um, and people recognize that about you. They recognize your ability to trust in your creative sparks and sort of run with it and create that web, but make sure you're doing it for yourself, writing stories about life, um, that I'm hearing writing mental stories about life that set your intellect and your feet in the appropriate direction. Um, and then we have Kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. So that's your actionable. Um, that is your actionable uh, plan. So as you're walking, think about your life. Think about what's going on. Talk it out. Speak it out into the air. Speak it out into the universe. If you have water near you, if you have trees near you, if you have untamed ground near you, then go there and tap in to that space, and tell it about your problems. Sit there and get creative. Take a notebook. I feel like that's it from this deck. Take a notebook and really get into it. Get into your dreams. Get into what you're feeling. I'm going to leave these out. I'm not sure why I want it like this, um, or why I'm showing it to you, but I am, and it feels like you should know. So it's those three things at the top, and the one action at the bottom. It's sort of like take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing striving. Your action is to do a walking meditation. Take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Do a walking meditation. Trust your creative spark, your feelings, and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. Do a walking meditation. Um, so you can take time to rest and recuperate, listen to some music, and go for a walk. Listen to empowering music. Listen to music that's going to give you an empowering message, or listen to people who's going to give you an empowering message. Um, we all have soul family. There are readers that I follow, that I listen to while I'm walking because they're speaking to my story. They're speaking to me, and my soul, and I'm a part of the soul family, the collective that they tap into. So I'm listening to that while I'm walking and having those conversations. So the first card was the seahorse in the reverse. So this card is about fatherly power and consistency. So maybe you did not have, I came through really clearly in my ears. Maybe you didn't have a father in your life. Um maybe you didn't have a father who was consistent. Maybe you didn't have someone who showed what that fatherly power was in order to balance out your foundation for the divine feminine and divine feminine and defined masculine. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say divine masculine, but it came out as defined masculine. So, okay. So, in that not having, so I feel like this is a yes, and let's move past. It's like, okay, you didn't have that consistency, you didn't have that constancy. Um and in this, like, seahorse, it's the seahorse father takes on the babies and does the fatherly thing. Um, so if you did not have that constancy, if that was not something that was picked up and carried on, whether it was in the physical or emotionally, um, it's time for you to let that go. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's time to let that go and encourage, um, a reweaving of what masculinity, of what fatherhood means to you. Um, we have the ability now to tap into energies that we did not have, and look at them many times, and get through the sadness and then the resentment, and then find the beauty in seeing a fatherly figure on your socials, right? And then you can provide those types of energies for yourself afterwards. Maybe this entire deck, is the entire deck upside down? No. Okay. So we're getting the swan upside down, and we're getting the viper upside down. So the swan is self love and purity in the reverse, and the viper is fear and healing in the reverse. So if your self-love journey has taken you into a space, and we all sort of need to take the pilgrimage into sort of the dark night of the soul, and then into the, like, white cloth ascension purity era, right? But in the here and now, in this third density, in this space, we have to be clever and adaptable, again taking it back to our original fox card, and utilize our intuition. Every single religion, every single sect of thought has been tampered with at this point by someone, um, either to push it to its limits of purity, or to push it to its limits of power, which is, I'm talking about power in a deficit perspective. So power in an oppressive perspective, and then purity in a suffrage oppressive perspective. It's your job at this time to um, I'm feeling like this dual walking meditation every day for the next week is not just a prescription for how to ground into this energy, it's a prescription for life, period. Your life is a walking meditation. You're the one walking through your life. You must hold self love aside from all of the shoulds and woulds and isms and phobias and doctrines and such, because regardless of the religion, regardless of the ideology, regardless of the philosophy, pedagogy, whatever, humans are humans. And we are all here to do life slightly different. None of us walk the exact same um, path. So we have to have self love and not from a place of fear. Like sometimes we gotta step on some toes. Sometimes I'm hearing this song, uh, this it's a Christian rap song. That's like, you say you want to be like Jesus. Well, Jesus had to flip some tables. Like it's not always gonna be loved what you're doing, but it should never be coming from a place of stringency. It should also be coming from a place of promoting self love for the other party, because the other party is in hatred because they do not love themselves, not necessarily because they don't love you. And your self love is your the purity of your self love has nothing to do with external forces, although external forces will test your edges, I'm hearing. So cleverness, adaptability, intuition, encouraging you to trust your instincts, embrace stealthy change, and find resourceful solutions to problems, increased awareness. Those folks, those entities, those energies, that's the end of this deck, that are testing you will often leave loose ends because it creates a chase, and it creates a power dynamic of like, oh well, if you're waiting for me to do blah blah blah, then you're still a part of what I'm doing, and you have to be able to separate yourself from that while not uh letting it linger. So that embracing stealthy change. All right, we're gonna get some tarot cards to close this particular reading out. This reading's making my head tingle. um, so it might be something that really makes you think about, where are you still in those narratives with those folks? Like, you can heal without going back to the scene of the crime, you know? I felt really pertinent. So this Page of Wands in the reverse. Frivolous, theatrical, and hollow young man, cruel and oppressive. So this optimism, this might be how you are viewed at first. It's giving like villain era, where you'll be seen as the sly fox. Oh, the, you know, maybe con artist, I'm hearing. It's up to you in that time to know that you're on your path and you're not doing these actions to harm others, you're actually allowing them the space to show up in their own cleverness and adaptability without siphoning from you. And for some, it may seem frivolous and theatrical, maybe because you are in joy, and joy is seen and utilized theatrically nowadays. Um, the fake smiles and the high pitches or whatever. So, Ten of Wands. Okay, this is the rest of the reading right here. It all came out at the same damn time. So, we have Ten of Wands in the upright. We have the Emperor in the reverse. And we have the Empress at the end. So, you may be seen as frivolous or theatrical, hollow, cruel, oppressive. Oppressive in the sense of like, oh, you won't let me play in your face. And I like to do that. So just knowing, and all of these, the first three tarot that came out are all cards dealing in fire signs. Um, so Sag and Aries to be specific. So all of these things are meant to set you on, like they're all in the reverse. They're meant to set you on fire. They're meant to set you off your path, darling. They're meant to get you off your path, darling. Don't follow them. Um, but know about them, right? Know about them. Peep the scene. That's what the point of many of my messages are going to be: empowerment and peep the scene. Okay, so dealing in these energies, taking that on as something that you need to fix, taking that on as a perception that you need to solve. Recognize it's not your perception of you. Recognize that. And then hold space for them, for you to be right, and for them to be right for themselves, right? If you are living in a place of joy, if you are out here, you know, still trying to communicate, but the communication is shady, done. If you're out here trying to spin webs, create creative sparks, bring good vibes and feelings, and it's being met with um, foolishness and frivolity. So you may be perceived as foolish when the foolishness is actually coming from somewhere else. And when that does not work to allay you, we may switch over to overload. So you'll end up with more responsibilities, testing to see if they can, if because these people are not acting for themselves, right? They're not acting for themselves. Many times they don't want to lose you. There's a hold on them that is ancient, and it is of their mission of this time to make choices and not follow it, but not everybody does. So what I'm pointing out to you now is the journey that you'll go through in opposition, I feel. So this Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands. Yeah, instead of just giving you the whole dime, they'll give you pennies. So don't be breadcrumbed. So Ten of Wands is, keep saying it, Ten of Wands is overload. getting into um, giving you more responsibilities than are really yours, or not helping, or being unhelpful in the responsibilities that you have, trying to create mental exhaustion, fatigue, stress, duty, obligation, problems, job burnout, assuming too much, delegating, resting, delays. But I don't feel like this is your energy at all. This is your no. If these things are showing up, take a deep breath. Know you're being recalibrated. Know that you're being spun through the rabbit hole, and it's gonna be okay. You're meant to be the fox right now. You're meant to make these changes. If it's like problems, job burnout, assuming too much, problems delegating. If you have problems delegating things, what can you take off your table? What can you take off your table? What responsibilities aren't even yours? What things are you thinking about that aren't even yours? Because these things are going to cause the fatigue and the stress, and no. Once you get that down, my foxy friends, you'll meet. Oh, this feels like like a video game. Actually, this Ten of Wands. This Ten of Wands is in the upright, and it's a no. It's still a no. This is a no card. It's still a no. Things that aren't your responsibility, things that cause mental exhaustion, all those things I just read off, those are no's. Those are no's. And your big boss here, your big boss, I have the Emperor in the reverse and the Empress to follow. Your big boss, my foxy friends, is going to hit you with stubbornness, lack of idealism, stubborn adversity, falls, potentially loss of property, paternity problems. So, like, problems with your significant, um, problems with your significant other from a third party, a friend that's no longer need to be there, problems in your, I'm hearing co-parenting situations, problems in your parenting situations, um, that are stemming from this stubbornness of another party, another entity, a company. All of those are going to be your no. All of those are going to be your no. Um, and the emperor, uh, represents intelligence and authoritarian control. You have your own um, divine intelligence. You have your own internal. You are your own internal authority. You are your own internal control. And once you get through these trials, so like, let me see. So we have optimism, the Page of Wands in the reverse, the frivolousness, theatrics, the shallow hollowness, the cruelty and oppressive behaviors. Listen, take time to rest on those things. Somebody didn't stress you out. If you really don't have to do the things that you might have lined up, like, if I'm not going to give any specifics because you know your life, but if there are things that you can be like, okay, that is a chore, I'm going to start it, like laundry. That's a specific I can give that everybody has. I'm going to start it, but I have more clothes that I can wear. Thank God for my abundance. I'm going to wash those clothes tomorrow. Or I'm going to get them prepared to go to the laundry, and I'm not going to take them to the laundry right now. I'm going to take a nap. Or I'm going to put them in and take a nap while they're washed. Like, take the time to recuperate when you feel tired, and don't feel frivolous or theatrical about it. It's what you need. You're allowed. You're allowed. This Ten of Wands overload. This is given that. This is lining up with the gorilla. Take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. So, yeah, listen compassionately. Listen compassionately. Do. And allow the space of silence. If you don't have anything constructive to say that you even think they will do, don't go picking up the wands. Stop picking up all these wands. Stop it. Stop it. It's better if everybody just carry their own stick. You can listen, but you don't have to take it on. And this Emperor in the reverse, trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten you. So, all the times when you were, so this is like stubbornness, lack of the Emperor in reverse, in contrast to the Spider, is the stubbornness, lack of idealism, stubborn adversity, fall, loss. Like, trust your creative spark. If you lose something, did you really need it? Is the first question. And if you did, how do you regain it? That's the process. The sorrow will come on its own. You don't need to force it. And when it does, we back to step one of not being theatrical and just taking the time. When you're in grief, go take a nap. When you're in grief, cry it out. Deal with it so that you can get to this Empress card, which now we're in Taurus, we're in Venus, we're yasing, we're in our solar plexus, we're in wealth and abundance, baby. Feminine energy, beauty, femininity, sensuality, fertility, pregnancy, motherhood, abundance, art, creation, nature, harmony, sexual empowerment, matriarchy. I'm not taking any more cards. That just fell out. I was just sitting here shuffling. I didn't ask for anything. And look what came out. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, fam. We're not doing this. I'm like giving this beautiful ending and it's like, no, You can have it. They can have it. Stop picking it up. The art, creation, nature, harmony, sexual empowerment, and matriarchy. No, actually, no. I'm not even going to say that because I was going to say if you're femme presenting, but it doesn't even matter. Whoever you are, whatever you are, gender wise, whatever you are, sexuality wise, whatever you are, avatarically, you are the divine masculine and the divine feminine of your life. You are. All you got to do is embrace it. Men are fertile. They have to embrace it. Men can be creative. Mask of center can be creative. It can be fertile. It can be beautiful. All of these things. We have to embrace this ability to adapt from regular social norms and be clever for ourselves. Okay? Take this message and walk around with it. Walk around with it. Do your meditative walks with this message. Okay? Reflect on it. And I hope you create a great day. Bye.